Lovelies. Welcome to 2022 of Let's Heal Together. Thank you for joining us. And of course, I have a very special guest here with me. You all know her as Perfumes with Pat. I know her as
Sissy.
I was going to say Pat Rice, but yes, this is my sister. And so she is joining me for my first conversation today. And I'm really excited. It's a topic that we've pretty much discussed before. I think that time I had Amber, my forever guest. But as we know, she is in the midst of
Prego.
Yes. So we are awaiting your first
grandchild.
Yay!
I'm gonna be the mommy.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Look
But
out.
sis, I just wanted to say that I am very happy that you started back because, listen, I think that the topics that you have brought to the platform have been very, important. And people, I think that sometimes people need to take the time and just sit down and listen and think about these type of topics. So I'm happy you're back.
I'm happy to be back too. I think I was trying to get through some stuff first.
Yeah.
And so I can come out here and be like, y'all, I done been through this and now I'm like, spanking brand new, but it was taking too long. So I was like, well, let me just come on in the midst of it and be real with it and process it. And we're going to go through this process. As you know, we're healing together, right? So let's make it real.
That's right.
So today we are talking about really just acknowledging when something is wrong, acknowledging that there is an emotion, and it doesn't have to be the best emotion. Acknowledging that it's there. We're not going to hold on to it and make it like part of our identity, but we're going to acknowledge that, we're either hurt, we're upset, we're angry, we want to slap somebody, we want to choke out somebody. We're not going to do it because we ain't ending up in prison. We too good for that. But we're going to acknowledge that as people, we go through so many emotions and it's okay to feel them all. But we don't want to hold on to them. So, okay, so this is coming from, so of course, y'all know I be watching the news. Apple will give you these updates. And so recently, there was something about a respiratory therapist. And throughout the pandemic, he's been working, travel, doing work and doing that stuff. And he would always reach out to his spouse and say, this is really rough. This is really hard. There's, people are dying and this is, But she said that the calls got progressively more and more emotional, where there were moments when he would just call crying on his break. And she said one of the last conversations, he called her and said, if anything ever happens to me, I want to be buried with my parents, next to my parents. She just thought, okay, if anything happened, like, you're working in the COVID unit. If you catch COVID, that's your final resting place. That's where you want to be. Well, no, he committed suicide. And it's been stories like this that I'm hearing, and I'm realizing that people are really feeling so much and not taking the time to feel them and find help for them. And I feel like that's a horrible place to be, because sometimes we're so ashamed of the variety of emotions. And I don't know about any other community, but the African American community, we're not good with talking about how we feel and this is what we're dealing with, going to counseling. We're not really good on that because we were raised to be strong. We were raised to be, put on your best face, especially if you were raised in church. You are blessed and highly favored regardless of what's going on. You're never upset. You're never bitter. You're never angry. You're never anything. You just happy all the time in Jesus, in the Lord. Yeah. So that's rough. So I wanted to just kind of discuss that, the ability to feel it. So tell me what you think about that. Because you know what? Okay, y'all. And I can't share the poem because you see the face she made. So I wrote a poem earlier today. And I sent it out to my 4 sisters. And I was like, yo, tell me how you feel. Like, this is one of my new pieces. It's going to be a series, but this is the first one. Tell me how you feel. So I'm like in my bed and I'm sitting down waiting for this response. And what was your response, sis?
I don't like it.
So I was like, why? Does it feel too morbid? And you were like,
yeah, it sounds like you're gonna kill yourself.
and I had to explain to her, no, it wasn't. It was basically an expression of someone experiencing something and realizing that you got to go through it. And when you go through it, sometimes, depending on the situation, you may have people hurt you, you may have people do bad towards you, and sometimes there's going to be a recovery of that relationship, but not all the time. So in that poem, it was saying, okay, this relationship, this situation is over. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to be a new person after that, but you won't get to meet that new person because the person you knew is dead.
Right.
So that is what I was saying.
Okay.
So
when I read the poem, all I was thinking about, this is like the like, mom, sorry, but life is worth dying. Life is not worth anything, so I'm going to kill myself. And if you're reading this letter, I'm dead. So see, listen, like my sister said, we're Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was 10 years old or 15 years old and I told my mom, I'm so depressed. Shut up your mouth, girl, and go sit down. You want something to do? Go read a book. That's how we grew up, right? And if my kids, I remember my son saying, Mom, I'm so bored. You bored? Me have something for you to do. Go wash the dishes. So it's like, we didn't grow up to, say, hey, I'm feeling a little gloomy today. And honestly, I want to be as truthful as I possibly can. I have a problem with up and down people. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. And my sister, that mm-hmm. I've always been like that. I feel like if I'm around a person who's emotionally up and then down, up, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I shouldn't be around that person. I feel like it's going to rub off. Because I'm always a certain way. I'm always, not that I'm always happy, but I'm always upbeat. I'm
life of the party always.
Yes,
no matter
I'm
what's going on.
always upbeat. Mm-hmm. Do I get depressed? Do I get sad?
Down.
Yeah, that's normal stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think that I think that you should get over it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I really do think now. Is there people out there who really do need medication for depression, medication for this? Yes, I'm a nurse. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. It's just that sometimes we talk ourselves into certain situations. I talk myself out of feeling like I failed a test recently. Was I sad? Yeah. Did I shed a tear? No. Why? Because I have an opportunity to take the exam again. Do I feel sad that this and no, you try again. That's what life is about. We woke up. We were given the opportunity to go on again. So go on. Don't live in this, I am nothing. I failed. Oh my God. No, if you do that, in my opinion, I just think that you're setting yourself up for failure. Mm-hmm. So I always see people who they're always just I always think that there's something wrong with them. I'm trying to change my mindset a little bit, but you get what I'm saying?
I understand. So, and she's true. Pat has always been the life of the party, no matter what. But have we had conversations where she'll break down with me and be like, this is what's going on, but not everyone is going to be able to see that side of Pat.
Right.
Now, I am kind of different. Not everyone sees me cry, honestly. But if I am feeling a way, you will know it because it'll be on me. I'm not going to try to put the energy into pretending for you that all is well. Now, if I need to show up for something and I need to participate in something, if I need to do something that is important, I'm not talking about, we going to the movies. No, I don't have time for that because I'm not in that mood. But if it's something important, I will put on my best face. I will go to work and perform my duties. I will do all of that. But when I am by myself, I will take time to process. And when I'm in my comfort zone, I do not mind letting people see what's going on. I don't even have to talk about it, but I don't mind.
Right.
So that is the difference between us. But I do understand, and I have been speaking because I do believe that what you speak out is what's coming back to you.
I believe
and
that.
It will consume you.
I believe that.
So,
I believe that if you live defeated, that's how your life is going to be.
And I
speak
that.
Everything. I'll tell my sister, sis, I'm gonna get this Chanel bag this year.
Mm-hmm. She does.
And don't I?
She does.
I'm like, I'm gonna do this year, and I will do it. Do I always have the money to do it? No, but I spoke it and I worked towards it. You know, you have to, even if it's not accomplished. I'm not down about it. It's gonna come tomorrow. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to. I don't know. You know,
and I will get completely traumatized. So I remember. Do you remember me saying last year, sis? This year I'm gonna get those slides. What were they? What,
the Gucci slides.
I'm gonna get the Gucci slides. I'm gonna buy this Gucci bag. I'm gonna do this before my birthday, and it was like probably May, so I had enough time for till November.
Could she afford it?
Could I afford it? Yes. Did I get it?
No. And I was not gonna get it for her because I was gonna. If I show you my phone right now, a matter of fact, while you're talking, I'm gonna show you my phone and show you what's in my box. Her Gucci slides. But I will not get it for her because I want her to be that type of person. Like, you deserve this. You deserve the best in life. And the best has nothing to do with the $500 tag. It's just, if you want something, you get it. Mm-hmm. No regrets. Yeah. And I don't live with regrets ever, you know? And
that is something that I'm learning. I feel like, you know, at 40, how old am I? 41 or 42?
I'm 40. How old am I? I'm 44. Jesus. So you're 42.
I'm 41. I'll be 42 then.
You're going to be 42.
Year. So I am 41 and I'm learning at 41. I believe I spoke to my brother-in-law the other day. I spoke to your husband and I was like, you know what? And he looking at me like, oh, Jesus. He looking at, seriously, he was looking at me like, oh, she gonna start one of them stories again. And I said, you know what? I just realized. He was like, what did you realize? And I was like, I realized that I was waiting for 41 years for people to jump to celebrate with me like I would celebrate with people. Because totally, I would celebrate with you. I would be happy for you. I will support you. Whatever you need. I'm that kind of person. I don't necessarily come up with awesome ideas, but if you have an idea, I'll jump on that thing and make it work. I will make it work. Yes. You know, so I was waiting for someone to be in that corner for me. Someone besides my family, because honestly, my sisters, my mom, awesome folks. My niece Amber, when I said I wanted to do this, she was like, let's do it. You know, she's a production team. So I was waiting for that. And then life hit and made me realize, child, you was going to wait till you did.
Because nobody's ever going to have your corner.
And you know what he said? He said, but whose fault is that? Exactly. And I looked at him like, that's why I don't want to tell you nothing. Because the truth is in him. You know, so I'm realizing that as we're processing this thing called life, it's a process, it's a journey. You have to be willing to talk about how you feel, but not stay there. Don't park there. Like, you know, our pastor's wife used to say, don't park there. Don't just stay there and let it consume you. Understand that you're gonna feel angry when things happen. I had a situation hit me the other day, and quite honestly, it's been going on for a few months now. I haven't cried one tear over it. And I just keep saying this because I have dry eyes. You know, the ophthalmologist said, I have extremely dry eyes. And she put me on this whole regimen, got to do the eye drops, got to do all this stuff. So I was just like, well, I can't cry because I have dry eye. So there's no tears. I literally have cried out all my tears, y'all. You know, it's the Mary Mary song. I done cried my last tear yesterday. So I was like, okay, whatever, which helped because I literally could not cry about it. But the other day, I said, sis, I'm going to run out and go get some milk for Abby. Watch a baby for me. I go out, get the milk, and the song came to me, this house of flesh is but a prison. And I put it on. Lord, when the song ended, all the tears that I have not cried in months just completely took me over. And I was there doing the ugly cry, and I was like singing, and I was like praying, and I was like, God, in this moment, I need you, because I told God every emotion that I was feeling, every last bit of it, anger, frustration. And then I realized none of those emotions bothered me. I was okay that I was angry. I was okay that I was frustrated. The one emotion that bothered me so much that I was feeling, disappointment. It is the hardest thing for me, I don't know about anybody else, to feel disappointed in a situation or in a person. Because it's like, you let me down. And not just like a normal letdown, but you just disappointed me to my heart, to my soul. And I was like, God, help me to get over that one. Because anger to me like comes in, I'm not a naturally angry person, so it just comes in, it'll fly through the window. I'm fine. But the disappointment wanted to just like, pack a bag, stay in the house, make room for itself. And I was like, God, help me with that. So, but in that moment, I realized I needed to do that. I needed to express how I was feeling, because I was sitting there literally for months. Like, I don't feel any way. I feel fine. Like, I feel good. I'm fine. I'm okay. But I would imagine everyone else knew that, yeah, she don't look too good. But I felt fine. Like, I was going about my day. I wasn't calling out from work. I wasn't feeling overly sick. I wasn't feeling any signs and symptoms that would make me feel like I wasn't fine. But it wasn't until that car ride that I realized, okay, you may not be fine. And it was okay to express it. It's okay. And to reach out for help. Because I feel like, don't just stop with expressing all that you're feeling. So, and then just, that's it. Because that means you're literally holding on to it. And I feel like if you hold on to negative things, that's where suicide thoughts come up. Yeah. That's where murder comes up. That's where other things come up that make you into what you don't want to become.
Yeah. And I'm like, so, and sometimes people don't know that, I'm going through things, because I don't really like I don't show any type. You don't show it. I don't show it. Yeah. I don't wear my emotions on a sleeve. But I have been going through the same thing, and I'm like, and for a lot of years, people think that I'm very, what's the word? Like I'm
bull.
Yeah, bull. Yeah, but not even that. Just people think that sometimes you think this way, and you're like this. Pat is like this. Pat is like that. And I used to always tell God, I used to pray about, like, Lord, these people really don't know me. Like, they say I'm like a person who doesn't forgive. Like, that's not me. And I told God, I said, God, I don't even answer to that, because I know I forgive. And guess what? This year alone, maybe last year into this year, COVID years, have taught me who Patrice is. And Patrice needs to get closer with God. That's my goal for this year. But it has taught me, because I've seen so many people, what you said about disappointment is so true, because I would have never thought, I've always had an inkling about certain things, but I'm the type of, like I always tell my friends at work, I say, even though you told me about Vanessa, I can't treat Vanessa bad because of what you told me about her. I can't do that. I have to learn Vanessa on my own. Yes. And see Vanessa's true colors on my own. Because maybe your personality and her personality just don't click while you can't get along. But now that I know Vanessa and seen Vanessa, I can treat her accordingly. And disappointment in people, in things, sometimes in yourself is a true thing, and sometimes I think even sometimes I'm at work and I'm working up a patient, and the patient will say one thing that will remind me of like the situation that's going on, and a tear will just drop out my eye, and the patient's looking at me. Thank God the mask is there all the way up to my eye. We wear the mask and they can hardly see, they just see the wetness, and then they're like, you okay, young lady? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And that's how I process things. I think about things. I talk to myself about things. I ask myself, Patrice, could you have done something different? Because sometimes I think that in life, situations get the way that they are because we don't stop them You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If
Keep going.
Yeah. You know, if I see that me and your relationship is going south, it's okay if you seem like the weaker person to say, hey, is everything good? Are are we good? Because then it opens a door to express, Now, if you don't want to express and I express and you want to keep everything, and then 10 years down the line, we hear the true story and hear the true what's going on, that's on you. I have released myself from that. And if people want to hold on to 10 years of foolishness, that's on you. That's on you. That is on you. I have done many things wrong to people. If they choose to forgive me or not, thank you and thank God. But if you choose not to, that's on you. Because at the end of the day, I have said my piece. And hopefully I have asked for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cannot hold on to things. You will build cancer in your body, pain in your body, and like I said, I think we deal with things differently, but it's okay. It's okay. My goal this year is let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Man.
Don't let it bring you to the dark side. Don't let it bring you to the negative side, because...
And why do you have to do something mean to me and then, hey, I broke out, make the people that know who you really is. I'm confused.
Not that broke out.
I'm so confused. What type of person is that? No, seriously, think about it. I told someone yesterday. The person said something like, yeah, I will let you know. I will write your name in this something to let these people know who you. I said, but why? Is that going to help you at the end of the day?
No.
I said, what people do to you, let God expose it.
Yes.
Let God expose it. Because at the end of the day, you are already suffering.
Yes.
I just might not be able to see it.
Yes.
You're already suffering. Yes. So what I'm going to go spread, do you know Vanessa is this? And you're going to go tell the whole world now, these people are this, these people. Let me tell you something. You're setting up yourself.
Yes.
You're setting up your kids.
Yes.
You're setting up your generation. You're setting them up. Believe it or not, let it go. God is the judge. In the Bible, when Miriam and Aaron was against Moses because Moses, I guess he married that lady. She was black or whatever, of a different nationality. And like back in those times, that was wrong or whatever. Yes. But guess what? Remember, Moses had on, he was God's property. Yep. Even though we are all God's property. But it says, touch not my anointed.
He was a mouthpiece at the time.
He was a mouthpiece. And when people are a mouthpiece, it don't matter.
They're still people.
They're still people.
They're still flesh.
But they're still flesh. But don't touch them. Let God deal with them. Yes. But here we go. We want to be judge, jury, and executioner. Who are you? Come on.
Yeah. We're dealing with so much in life, and I love that you brought that up, because sometimes there's so many situations, and we will focus so much on what other people have done to us, and we will hold on to that thing. Meanwhile, you don't even know what God is already doing, dealing with those people with. You don't know what he's taken them to, the process. You're just sitting from the outside and holding on to it. And you're like, oh no, I'm going to get my payback. I'm karma. And you trying to work on all this. You trying to make things happen so that it don't happen right for them. But you just digging a ditch for yourself.
And
making yourself so depressed that they're not suffering.
And two, what about what you have done to people?
Yes, we are so not perfect.
We're so hypocritical.
We're so not perfect.
You know how much stuff I did to people?
Yes, Lord.
How much stuff I said about people?
Yes, Lord.
How many times I cursed out people?
Yes, Lord.
How many times I called people's names? How many times I cursed everybody's whole family?
Yes, what? Not the whole family.
The whole family, including the newborn child.
Not the newborn.
So who am I? Who am I now that I found a little bit of salvation? I found a little Jesus. I'm going to come and criticize you. No.
Yeah.
Forgive people. Learn to forgive people.
Yes.
Learn to have a little bit of mercy.
Yes.
Whatever you want for yourself and your kids. Listen to me. Everything. You know what I think about? You can ask all my kids. Every single one of them. I remember one day, my daughter Amber came and said, Mom, do you know this, and this person did this, and this, and this. I said, it's okay. I said, brush it off your shoulders.
Move on.
Move on. I never sat with that child and said anything wrong about anybody. Brush it off your shoulders and move the hell on. Can I say hell?
Can't say hell.
Can't say hell. Move the hell on. Move on. Because who you are punishing is yourself.
Yeah.
Is yourself. Because if you're in my brain 24 hours and I'm thinking about how you hurt me and how I'm going to hurt you back, what kind of life is that?
It's not a good
Move
one.
on.
It's not a good life.
Oh my God.
It's definitely not a good life. And you can see it you could see it in the news. You could see it in the communities. You could see it on social media. It's not a good life. Because you would see people react to the smallest thing in such a major way. And that's when you realize, oh, something else going on. This have nothing to do with what's here.
Yeah.
There's something else that's been going on. And so as we're dealing with things in life, and that's why I said, experience the emotion, experience it. I read a scripture and in the regular translation, it says, be angry, but don't sin. But there's a translation that says, you will be good. You do good to be angry. Just don't hold on to it.
Yeah.
That means God created us. All the emotions. I believe Jesus was angry one day. He entered the temple and started kicking over the tables and stuff like that because the situation called for it. There are some situations that will call for anger. There's some situations that will call for whatever. Joy, happiness, peace. What other emotions we got out here? Angry. I don't know, situations call for bitterness because bitterness is something that is deep down and rooted in the soul. But when it starts to come, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to hold on to it?
Right.
It doesn't do you good.
And people get mad at, sis, if you stole my necklace, of course I'm going to talk about you. Right? I'm going to say, do you know that girl Vanessa stole my necklace? It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Why are you getting mad?
It's not a lie.
It's a fact. It's not a lie.
I stole it.
It's not a lie. Now, if Vanessa said, yes, I stole it, please forgive me. And all 3 years I'm talking about it, now Vanessa's not at fault. I am.
Yeah,
now I got to check myself because she already apologized
and gave
about it
back.
And gave the necklace back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to really, and these are things that we have to teach our children.
Yes.
Because children grow up into adults.
And they grow up
Oy.
10 times more than us.
Hey.
So the little
my
things
daughter
that we
is
are dealing
so rough, and she's
Okay.
15. She's rougher than me now, and I'm 44
Yes.
because I've always been a rough mother.
Yes.
She's so rough. I'm like, what have I created?
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? So you're raising little monsters.
And it's and like you said, like the children, and look at, oh my God, and I keep saying, look at the community, look at the society, look at this generation. The things that I'm hearing that's being done now, like I didn't hear about those things when I was young. I don't know if it's because I wasn't paying attention to it, but there's some crazy stuff going on out there. I mean, there's so much violence. There's so much unnecessary killing, unnecessary hate. It's so much. And I'm like, what is going on? And it all stems back to the emotions. We got to really grab this thing by the tail and take charge of it and not let it take charge of us. Because I feel like emotions are taking charge of us, and that's why our actions are so jacked up. I don't know how else to say it. It's jacked up. And so this is going to be a little bit of what we're going to be talking about this year, just the different emotions and getting through that, because that has a lot to do with healing. It has a lot to do with where we go from, you know, the situations that we experience. What's next? What comes after the disappointment? What comes after the hurt? What comes after the problem? Are we going to be rebuilding relationships? Are we going to know which relationships are not even worth rebuilding? Because you have to know your importance. You have to know who you are. And I know this is some of the stuff that we've already discussed, but now you can talk about something because there's different levels of issues. There's different levels. There's different levels of situations. You could deal with something, and I think we talked about this with Amber. You could deal with something and be like, okay, one prayer, okay, I'm over it, we're cool. And at the time when I was dealing with different things, I was like, know who you are, accept the problem, move on. And it's still true. It comes from a different place. It comes from a different
I'm not an emotional person. I don't think I am. When I'm by myself, I am. I know. Move on.